You're with Julian on the Brown Notes and a 2026 film review, very short review for obvious reasons. So Mercy, the latest Chris Pratt is everywhere film. And doesn't that new Mario film sound like it's absolutely atrocious? The interesting thing here is the director, Timur Bekmambetov. Now, I did watch the film that made his name called Night Watch, 2004. I believe it is some sort of vampiric Russian horror movie in the vein of the Underworld movies, and it was absolutely fantastic. And then he did Day Watch. I think the film was a colossal success in Russia, but it was also a huge success around the era of films like The Raid from Indonesia and so on. It was like a really, really big film. He did Wanted in 2008, which was way ahead of the curve of modern superhero films with Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy and Morgan Freeman. That had legs. It was well better than most of the post-Endgame Marvel films. And the people in it were excellent, and it was a cool idea. I don't know why they just didn't really rate it. He did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and Ben-Hur, the remake of Ben-Hur for some reason. Really interesting filmography this guy has developed. So Mercy is, I think it's a Netflix, but it was released in the box office. Wow. So it was curiously mid in the box office. So the premise is actually good, if obvious. It's a future where AI rules our court system. So the judge is AI and the people weighing the evidence are just this AI judge, this super judge. So I thought the start was really good because Chris Pratt wakes up in a chair, really hungover, and he can't move. And Rebecca Ferguson appears, and she's the judge, and she says, you've got 90 minutes, and this is what happens. If you're accused of a capital offence like murder, then you have 90 minutes to make your case. If you don't by the end of the 90 minutes, you will be killed in that chair. And Pratt is starting to be a little bit upset about this whole paradigm, particularly as it's his wife he's accused of killing. And we know that he went to his wife's home. We know that there was some form of argument, and his wife was found stabbed to death in their family home by their daughter. And the rest of the film is him in that chair, walking through all of the events of the day and trying to make his case and trying to work out, because he's got no idea what happened. He genuinely doesn't know what happened. It got really trashed critically. This is such a mid-tier movie, but I would say it limps over the line of watchability. The curious part about this film is the whole AI court system premise at the start of the film is really, really good. And it's really, really badly filmed. It just doesn't work at all. It's just cringe-inducing. Yeah, as the film progresses, it becomes a more rote murder mystery film, cop trying to work out who put him in the frame and so on. That's more watchable, but it's not really engaged with the whole AI owning the court system. And you could probably pick every single story element, the way it unfolds and so on. The weirdest thing is I'm a huge fan of Rebecca Ferguson. And she isn't very good here at all. She's really miscast. I thought the English actress who was in Oblivion, if you remember Oblivion, she was Tom Cruise's actual real wife in that film. I think she would have been good in this role, but they make Rebecca Ferguson sort of have nervous tics and the manner in which she speaks to make sure you remember she's a robot, which doesn't work for her. It feels like they just cut her off at the knees. Weirdly, Chris Pratt, who's often been rubbish in a lot of films, he actually is the best thing about it. He thrives through various stages of contempt, terror, not understanding what's going on, and he delivers them all really well, I thought he did a good role here. But as the film progresses, there's more and more that you like. There are some good twists, but you're gonna retrospectively say, "Yeah, I did expect this film to go in this manner." And it's sort of a mix between really cheesy footage as well, because some of the stuff is where he's just sitting in the chair and, footage from mobile phones that doesn't look good. And then they sort of spend all their money on a truck chase at the end, which actually has some pretty cool stuff happening in it. I did guess the storyline pretty much from the start. You know that it's not him and so on, and you know who you think it's likely going to end up because you've seen 100 films like this. But overall, Mercy, I will give a flat 5 out of 10 to. It's the kind of film that if you are definitely not looking for anything challenging, but something that will pass an hour and a half, then it's just watchable. But is it good in any way? Only really because Chris Pratt shows that he's actually quite a capable actor in trite like this. So 5 out of 10 for Mercy, a once through, I think.